Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run, Booker, joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot nanny.
Hey everyone, welcome on to Trackside with Kokpit here on your Wednesday evening, and I hope you're going well out there as well, been enjoying yourself, whatever you have may been up to. But to think, being the last day of April, the 1st of May tomorrow, a quarter of 25 is gone, just like that, and just about gone is the Speedway season that most of us have enjoyed over the last many so months. There's only a few more tracks to operate around the country, but my good friend Books is back with us. Hey, Books.
Hey, mate. Yeah, it's can't believe it's going to be the May tomorrow. I mean, shit, where's the year gone? And also, season is just gone so fast, mate. I just can't get over it. It's it's really. It was like we're all waiting for it to start. And then boom, it's done and dusted. And it was a very busy season too, like a lot of championship meetings, and I think this is probably our busiest one yet, Kins, for us as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I know you were busy not that long ago with the big Rees and the Facey Farewell Tour as well down in the South Island, but I think we've spoken it many times on our show here on Trackside with Kokpit, brought to you by GARAGE16. It pretty well started from the New Zealand Superstock GP down in Woodford Glen from memory. Then every weekend after that pretty well rolled out to be a big weekend around the championship, whatever their class was. But there was always that non-stop excitement that carried on from that, basically, I would guess. That's how, of course, I can relate just from our show, because I remember we spoke about it a lot, and that's when nearly all the action happened every bloody weekend, unless Mother Nature decided to throw a curveball and upset a couple of the meetings there as well. But otherwise, yeah, we are winding up the season. Wayne Otten, mate, how are you? Tracy Vinson, Aaron Ferguson, Mark Goodman. Who else we got here as well? Watching. Hey, Kart Racer Kins. Yeah, I was enjoying it on Friday night, mate. Anzac Day. Jack Anderton, Grant Fowler, Scott Honeybone, Peter Morrison, Mike and Raven Shaw, Barry Hunter. There you go, Barry. Mike Harvey, Mr. Repco, Tane Ballantyne, Jason Wilson, Elmo's watching. And yeah, we had a good time. Had a good fun, mate. How was your weekend gone, Books, just recently?
Yeah, it's not been too bad, actually. I'm just I'm organising myself and setting up some new stuff, and I'm where I'm staying is I'm going to build a little studio for doing bits and pieces in, and so I'm going to use the camper when I'm on the road and the studio when I'm parked up here, because I'm going to fire up a repair shop for small motors. Oh. So I'm about to start that business as well. So things are all go, save some money for next season and for the travelling for next season. So yeah, it's but yeah, I think I've got one more meeting to go to this year. Which I'll be going next weekend, I think, with the Goodley family, with Maru and his lovely family. We're going to go to watch Palmy, actually, for that K-Boy Cowboys versus the Cowgirls.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Cowgirls win, even though they're up against a stacked team. You got to wonder, do you think they're a bit worried, Kins, that these K-Boy Cowboys are a bit worried to stack that team full of Superstock drivers? They're a bit scared of the girls, maybe, do we think?
Yeah, it could be. You know, we spoke about it last week when we did, obviously, the build-up to Wanganui and the teams, and some of those drivers, like your Jordan Dares mentioned, put himself, he might be in the stock car. Treat James from memory said he might be in the stock car as well. I was like, what, you boys are stacking your bloody teams up.
Yeah.
We might have to do something special on next Wednesday, get a couple of the KB girls and boys and kind of have it out on a...
Yeah, I think so. I think we might have to get some K-Boy Cowboys and KB Cowgirls on there and let them give each other a bit of banter and a bit of fun. But you were saying before about the weather. I think we've had not a bad season weather-wise, though, you know. I don't think there was as many rainouts this year as there was the year before. I think it was not too bad, to be honest. And there were some meetings that I was at a couple of meetings where it finished and then it rained straight after the last race. It's like, it was uncanny timing. So, yeah, but I see you put up a thing before. What do we got going on this weekend around the country, Kins? Is it?
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
it. That's
Four
it.
tracks.
4 tracks. Yeah, Kiki got a big one this coming weekend down at Palmy, like you said, Books. They're all go as well. And you got Wellington and just the sole one down at the moment. That's all. It's on the SNZ Facebook page. You got Riverside down there as well. So, yeah, just the 4 tracks. And you can kind of indicate and tell things are wrapping up. I just want to do a big shout out to everyone that was involved with the North versus South Challenge go-karts. Brought to you by the Mount Shop last Friday, Anzac Day. It was supposed to start at 4, but the rain settled in, like Booker said. And then, of course, Red Rooter knows how that weather works. They got the track back. We got the go-karts out there. Brad Lang went out there, and if he says it wasn't going to work, he knows. He's knowledgeable on that track. But it was going to work. They persevered. Mike Harvey got the Repco truck out there to do a bit of getting down. But overall, they got there. And when I take a look at it and think of the go-karts from the cadets right through to the open class, and just reflecting on some of those names, when you take a look at motorsport in general here in New Zealand, a lot of them have started from go-karts. I'm not going to run off names because I'm going to miss someone, but it's just credit to all of those who made that event happen to get the Southerners up here. It's a big haul with their little go-karts, and it was fun. Like a whole lot of bloody bumblebees.
Bumblebees going 100 mile an hour, bumblebees. Shit.
Like, holy shit.
But, and also, like, I think we need to take a moment to also just send our thoughts out to the injured people over the weekend, or another lot, to Jerry and his family. Hope Jerry has a speedy recovery. Young Lamp, we already know that he's I think there's some updates coming from the families from both of them. And the side card, I forgot the name, the swinger, I think, got hurt down there at Moore Park, but also Jace Jones out of Gisborne. He got hurt a few weeks back too, but wasn't as publicised as much as the others, so he's sort of been forgotten a bit. But to Jace, mate, I hope you're recovering well. I believe he was back. They moved him to Waikato Hospital. He took a decent hit too, broken pelvis and sorts of dramas and stuff. So to those guys, we hope you're doing well. And I know there's a few Give a Little pages out there and some auctions going around to help these guys out. So we know the Speedway community, no matter what the class or the person that's injured, we know the family side of it gets behind it. So if you can support these guys and their families, then do it. I mean, everything counts. I mean, even if you can afford a buck, it all makes a difference, and that's what we said with our cystic fibrosis tour this year and our heart kids last year. Even if it's just $1, it makes a difference to some family somewhere, So big thank you from us at Kokpit, myself, Kinser. We think you're all doing awesome. There we go. He's brought that up. Don't forget the Speedway Awards. Get your nominations in to who you think deserves to be. I saw one there. Is it for best looking team car or something? Kins, I think is one of the awards. Man, there's something to choose from this year, eh? Because man, we've seen some spectacular looking teams, haven't we? And just unreal. I mean, that must be a hard one to pick, like an event. Like, it's interesting, the criteria for some sort of event. And I sort of thought, well, that Reeds Tour was an event. That must be up there, but I don't know who you'd nominate for that. I mean, because every track in the South Island was involved. So it's interesting. So I looked at some of the categories and I thought, oh, man, that'd be hard to pick. And it's but it's a big job, eh? But don't forget, we're getting close to getting the results for our AMS awards as well, mate.
Yeah. Traditionally, he would join us, but like he said, I think a couple of weeks back, Amaral said, he wasn't going to do that. Just like the Dally M Awards with the NRL, he's a big rugby league fan, obviously, and that's how he's going to roll out, keep it under the radar, and he's working behind the scenes, still collabing the points, though, so that will continue on for the next few weeks, and we just got to sit down. I know he's going to sit down with you, Box. We're going to create an event he wants to host, where we host the Speedway of Excellence Awards by Only AMS, and I just got to give credit to Amaron as well. Look, even though last Friday was Anzac Day, how he portrayed the build-up to the teams of Wanganui was outstanding. The way he wrote it together in the Army way he spoke with it, the graphic work he's done on that, I tell you what, if there's a category in the SNZ's awards around who does graphic work, there is just so much people who have that talent up and down the country. And that's credit to each and one of you all. And I got to say, the power of social media, whatever it is, whether you're doing it on TikTok, throwing some of these Speedway events up, obviously through the book face, your Instagrams, your Snapchatting, whatever you're using, let alone your websites, mate, it's just unreal. That's what I've noticed because I live on the bloody stuff. Everywhere. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere. It's cool.
It is cool. I mean, yeah, the social media has its good points and its bad points, obviously, but if we can all stick together and portray it in good, like our anti-bullying campaign this year. I mean, some people said to me, said to me, Kim, you know, you're wasting your time. You're never going to stop it. But it's not about completely stopping it, because we're realistic and we know that fact, that you're never going to stop bullying. But
No.
if you can get one person to take notice about what we're talking about, and then they see something and that person finally says, hey, don't do that, that's stupid, then you've made a difference, haven't you? If just one person makes that difference, then we can follow. It's like paying it forward, you know? If we all make an effort, we're not going to completely wipe it out, but at least we can, I don't know, minimise it or restrict it or something. And, you know, we've got those, you look at the top of our page, you can buy those shirts. I was wearing mine the other day, and I had a person come up to me in the supermarket and told me they loved the shirt. It was awesome, you know, the anti-bullying and what it says on it. So, you know, if you want to support us and get out there and do it, then get out there and get one of those shirts and carry that on, because we're not going to stop here at Cockpit. Me and Kins, we are very strongly about that, and we don't like it when people abuse people and attack people on social media for no reason. So we're going to stick by that and continue our campaign, so to speak, mate.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, harder. It's how we believe we should be, you know, and, you know, all the action and the entertainment's done on the track, you know, just leave it there. That's where these guys and girls, they're the ones that dig deep into their pockets. They're the ones that chase around looking for sponsors. They're the ones that live in the shed, doing all the work along with their crews, their families, and now the ones that's got to cost $1 to get to the track. And now the ones at the end of the day that puts on the show for you, the fans. Yes, you pay at the gate to come, and yes, you buy a stream. But without these guys and girls and their different classes going around in the ovals, they put on a big show. Who else we got here? Who haven't I mentioned tonight? Mighty Goodley, mate. How you going? Amber Sinclair, Mark Williams, Grant Fowler, Corey. How you going, Corey? Laws. How you? Hey, Laws. G'day, mate. From Oz. Susan Burtis, Darren Brian Letwood, Bevan Gilgore, Ellie J. O'Brien, Richard and Trudy Aldridge, Samantha Kiss, Nicholas Clare, Jackie Miller, Steve Palmer, and I'll keep going through. I suppose he's been sitting there patient, and
Yes,
he says he was nervous, but he ain't bloody nervous. He's sitting there with his hand over his face, calm and collected. It's your 1NZ New Zealand Streetstock champion. Hey, Jareb, how are you?
Bloody good. How are you?
Mate,
Yeah, not
we're
too bad.
excellent. We're excellent. I suppose, you know, congrats on what you achieved, putting it on the good old wagon and throwing a 1NZ on there, mate.
Yeah, pretty cool. Didn't really expect that. Long way to go to Auckland. I've never had sort of great results in the big sort of championships and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool to go up there and do that. All right.
Yeah, especially up there in Auckland. So what's your background, mate? How did you get into it? Were you one of those young kids on the other side of the fence with a hot dog and just enjoying the race and decided you want to jump behind the wheel?
Yeah, pretty much. My dad raced street stocks back in the 1980s. So he always talked of stories of them sort of like before I was born. So I never actually watched him racing, but through the 90s was always really interested, would get, if it was our birthday or something, would always request to go watch Speedway and sit on the side of the bank there and watch it. It was always something we were real interested in. So when he started racing back in 2004, he brought a super saloon, and I ended up just getting straight into it, helping him out, crewing and following him all sort of around the country. And yeah, that's sort of how Speedway started for me, crewing for him and traveling everywhere. Yep.
What made it? If he was in the sea, what made you decide Streeties?
Yeah, I don't know, because I used to race streeties, I suppose. I was always interested in them. So I sort of watched them and just from a spectator point of view, and especially down here, without having the big number of stock cars and super stocks, they was the sort of hidden grade. So they were definitely the ones I like to watch, just the hits and the drama that sort of went with them. I don't know, I just really enjoyed them.
Yeah. Do you think you could see yourself eventually maybe having to go at the opportunity arose to jump in the saloon?
Well, I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I started in production saloons, actually.
Yeah.
I sort of became friends with Alan Finch, who raced an R30 Skyline production saloon. So, yeah, when I was a teenager, I sort of hung around with him. In 2005, I started crewing for Skyline, R30 Skyline, which I then brought off him and raced those for till maybe 6, 7, 8 years sort of thing. And then my dad put me in a saloon, in his saloon, race car, which I did about 3 years in, which was pretty cool. Quite enjoyed that. But just everything gets busy, and we ended up buying house and just lots going on. So also had to go on the Streeties.
Yeah. Hey mate, I don't know if you're not as old as me. I don't know if you
Still
watch
there?
spaghetti western
I lost
movies
it.
as such. I think if you can you hear? Oh, okay. Because we had a bit of a glitch with him then. He did drop out and come back. But what's happened is his voice is slowly catching up with his lips. It's like those movies, those spaghetti western movies.
Are we back?
There he is. He's back.
We're back. I don't know what happened.
You can hear
That's
us
all right. I
now,
think it's
mate?
just your internet's a bit slow on your Wi-Fi, maybe, so it'll just take a little bit of time to catch up between things with us. So, yeah, it just means there's a pause in between us speaking. So that's right, though. We'll work through it.
That's cool. Steve Dryden just tried to call me, actually. That's what happened.
That's probably what caused it.
That's what it was. Yeah,
That's exactly what caused it. Someone trying to ring you.
Yeah, we're on internet calling out, so we haven't got much service, so that'll be what it was.
That's all good. That's all good, mate. So obviously you come back from with the family side of things that's been involved with Speedway, and to come all the way up from where you're down in the South Island there to make the big trek, hit that bloody motorway in Auckland, and to go in there and battle to get the one NC. What was the feeling after the championship? Because I know from memory, it just didn't happen in the due time course that it was supposed to, because there was wet weather. Didn't you just race on a Sunday afternoon or a Monday afternoon, something like that?
Yeah. We got rained out, so we did it all in one day in the end, qualifying the whole lot. So it all happened really fast. It was kind of good. It gave us the opportunity to have a look around up there. I was kind of there for the trip anyway. I sort of thought it would be the champs. I never thought would get much results, so I was just really there for the trip. But in the end there, it was unreal. Just took a while to sort of sink in, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's your thoughts on Auckland in general while you did a bit of a trip around, with that amount of people there, that motorway and the traffic and the congestion? You love it, mate? You want to live there?
Nah. From Balclutha. There's definitely not my scene up there, but it was cool to go, I suppose.
Yeah. Did you think it was surprising though, coming from Balclutha? And I want to get your thoughts of you on South Island street stars, because they pretty well dominated in Wellington, where they had 110 plus there. And did you honestly think you were going to achieve and get on the podium when you think you're pretty well at the top of the North Island? Those Northerners want to get on the podium. How did you feel after all of that? Well, I didn't actually expect to get there. I thought someone would have taken me out, but I went to that champs in Wellington. That was full on. There were so many people there, but I DNF'd the last race with some broken wiring, and just I don't know. Heading into Auckland, I knew there's a lot less North Island. Well, I guess I don't actually know what sort of balance it was, but there was a lot less cars there, so I was a little less nervous about the whole sort of thing. But I still didn't expect to take a result away from there. I thought someone from up that way would have got it.
Do you think like for me, it's when I watch the street stocks, like first time I watched street stocks in the South Island, it sort of blew my mind. It's a totally different, to me, it was totally different type of, I don't know, racing, I suppose you'd say, in comparison to the North Island type streeties. And you guys, when you travel, you tend to, as a South Islanders, tend to just really stick together in this hub of drivers, where we don't see that in the north so much, or I haven't seen that. For me, as that perspective, what do you think that comes down to? Is it just a different atmosphere down there for you guys? Is it because, like you said, you don't have the super stock classes and the high stock cars, super stock, but the streeties are quite big? Do you think that's what makes a difference?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's just the people, I suppose. The club down here, everyone always sort of got together. When we go out of town, we try to stay at the same place or in the same area, just so we can have beers afterwards and stick together, sort of thing. I don't know. It's just the social side of it's really awesome down in the South Island. Even Nelson, Blenheim, Christchurch, all those guys are, when we go up the North Island, they're all our great mates we're all racing with. I mean, if it comes down to a local championship or something like that, we might, things might get rough on the track, but we're still always having beers afterwards. It's still really great. Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a case of because they're so spread far apart down in the South Island, but when they get together, they stick together, they bond together, and they seem to travel together as a force. And obviously, that's been recognised not only within the street stocks, but the stock cars in Wellington's been privy to that, obviously, when they've had the mass numbers turn up for the NZ Championships. But yeah, Booker is right. It's different. I don't know what it is. And you kind of send, I don't know if I'm right. Look, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to anyone in the North, whether or not sometimes they could be just individual races, but you guys stick together as a team. I don't know.
Yeah, they travel as an island, I think.
Yeah, they do.
They come into an island. They seem to travel as an island. I mean, I watched it on that Rees tour I was just on doing the South Island. And like you say, you're in Balclutha. I mean, we stayed at the Clutha Rugby Club. It's at 20 minutes out of Balclutha. And, man, the hospitality and the fun from that does Speedway people as well, just fantastic.
Yeah. The Clydevale. It would have been Clydevale.
Yeah, that's them. Yeah.
Valley. Yeah. I work up in the forestry just above there, so I drove past there that night, and I almost called in for a beer, but...
Oh, you should have stopped, mate. We would have welcomed you.
Yeah, I didn't know many people there, and just the Tahuras and that from Clydevale know them, but it would have been cool.
They're an awesome family, aren't they? That Tahura family, they just amazing people, great family.
Yeah, definitely.
Mate, you've got to introduce to something they call a roadie. Booker can tell you all about that. Off you, a roadie, then you wouldn't have got home until early hours. Look, as I mentioned just beforehand when I was commentating on Friday at Huntly, the go-karts. These are go-karts, and Wayne Nodden put a comment in the chat. Some of them down the back straight were going 127 kilometers an hour. So there you go. That's what they were clocked at. So when we had Brad Lane to kind of give an overview at some of the speeds and what they would match, he was saying very similar to saloons, everything like that, little go-karts. Just remember, they got no roll cage. They're just like a whole lot of bumblebees going. That was fast, man. They were fast. Different, fast. What else we got there?
So how long have you been? So how many years have you been racing then?
2005, I started in a production. So 20 years.
Wow. And still loving it like the day you started?
Yeah. Only 9 in a street stock, but did a lot of production saloon racing.
So if you got the opportunity to jump in another class, is there any other class that excites you to jump into?
Maybe saloons. I did do I did 3 or 4 years of them. So I had my dad's Corvette saloon. I've had the privilege of driving for a while and had some okay results in it. But just life and children, and so everything got really busy. Yeah. So I stepped away from it a little bit, and then sort of want to stay on the social side of the Speedway sort of thing, and try my hand at street stocks. But maybe in the future, maybe saloons, heading back into them could be cool.
And you've got, you say kids and family, so are the kids just as involved in Speedway? They're excited. Are they going to be coming through as well? Are they? Do they want to drive eventually, or how old are they?
I would say so. Yeah, my boy is 7 and my daughter is 5, and the boy's going to start grass carts soon. That's sort of where I started back in the day. So he'll get into the go-karts maybe this summer. We might try to get him to them. So
Yeah.
we've brought him a go-kart. We're just sort of getting him the gear that he needs. And yeah, I could imagine they'll be right into it. We used to be able to leave them, with some family when we were away on a Speedway night or something like that, but not anymore. If they're missing out, they don't like it. So
Get yourself in the
I
dog
would say
box, you leave them behind, eh?
yeah, definitely. I believe they'll be definitely involved. So not sure where, probably youth saloons or mini stocks or something like that for a start. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, is the other stuff that you do I'm guessing your season's finished to date for this current Speedway season?
I've got Invercargill this weekend, Riverside.
Okay.
I might go. Yeah, I've entered for that, so I'm going to go down there and just have a skid around there. I haven't been there since I've got the 1NZ, so it'd be cool just to rep the number down there. Cool.
So I'm guessing you've done most of the South Island tracks?
Yep. Not this season. I haven't done Blenheim this season or Christchurch actually. I've done a few North Island tracks this season, but Dunedin, Cromwell, I've done Invercargill already, and I need to really get to. I'd like to get to Invercargill this weekend. That's the plan.
Yeah. Cool. And the NZ's obviously next Speedway season's just up the road for you, up the top of the South Island. Nelson get to host it, and it's a pretty fast track, mate.
Yeah. Well, they say that. I've never raced there.
Yeah.
It's just never really worked out. I need to get there, so that could be pretty cool. They say it's like a mini Cromwell, and Cromwell is my favourite track. So we get involved there a couple of times a year, and that's just awesome up there. So who knows how that's going to go? I need to get up there early next season and have a practice, I suppose.
Yeah, get some laps under your belt, mate. They're good up there at Nelson as well. For you in that case,
Good
up
club
there for
rooms.
those great club rooms. Yeah, brilliant down there. You'll love it. Yeah, it's really cool.
They're definitely nice people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a very welcoming club, mate. Very welcoming. Yeah. Mind you, I think that's the whole of South Island, to be fair. But my experience, I honestly haven't got a bad word to say about a South Island club in this at all. I mean, they were all, just fantastic. But I see Jason Gutteridge is the flag man this weekend at Invis. He reckons they must be getting desperate.
They must be, yeah.
Holy hell. Oh, there'd be a bit of bloody fun. So that's you with your racing coming up, obviously, and Nelson's a big one for the New Zealanders. The off-season's just around the corner, mate. So what do you do with yourself during the off-season? What do you do over the next few months?
I suppose I'll rebuild the car, give it a panel, change some panels. It's not too badly beaten up, so just bumpers and panels this off-season.
Yeah.
My dad is an engine builder, so I'll pull the engine out. It's done about 3 or 4 seasons now, so it's due for a freshen up as well. So we'll get that done. And a wee bit of rally stuff. I've got a wee Mark II Escort rally car that I try to get some hill climbs and bits and pieces, rally sprints. So it's sort of getting into the season for that, which will be cool.
And do the kids do any sports in the winter, any winter sports, or?
They sort of play soccer. Last season they played soccer, so they're their first games this Saturday. So I've been talking very nicely to my partner so that she'll let me go down to Invercargill on Saturday and miss their first game of soccer.
Oh! But then the boy might want to come and watch the Speedway though instead of playing soccer.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to go. I'd say he'll be all right.
Yeah. Oh, good on you, mate. Good on you for what you're doing. And obviously, you've got merch available. Obviously, being the 1NZ Streetstock, you got to have it. You got to have the fans out there who want to buy merch and follow you on the good old social media.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Merch Pro does our merch. So it's all on the website. Look my name up on their website and it's all purchasable through there.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, and obviously the other part is there's a lot of shared time done with yourself, your family, your crew, and if you get up and go and heading down to the bottom of the south, then Jason be out there with the flag doing his thing, mate. But obviously there's all the sponsors that are associated with you, and they'll be proud sponsors because you carry it, the 1NZ on your wagon. I think the last time we did a bit of a research on your trophy was Nigel Patterson, maybe from memory, out of Gizzy, way back. That was the last wagon to put the 1NZ. But do a shout out to your sponsors, please.
Yeah. My sponsors really look after me. So I wasn't even supposed to be racing this season, but a few of them
Oh.
jumped on board, were pushed me into it. So, MV Motorsport, that's my dad's business. He builds race engines basically, and he reconditioning, all sorts of engine work. He really looks after me. SJL in Balclutha, they help me out a lot as well. It's like a septic company in Balclutha. Real nice people. MV Motors 2020 Limited, that's Alan Finch's business. He brought it off my dad a few years ago, and he's awesome to me as well. Crichton Sandblasting, he sorts all my painting and anything I need. He's awesome. Yes, CSBP is the official name of his business. Ag and Auto Direct Balclutha, he looks after me. NJL Builders, Save Money Skips, that's Shane Marker. He's a lot. He actually pushed me to go to the New Zealand title. I wasn't even going to go, but I did okay at the South Islands. I got second at the South Islands, and he put some money up and said, "You better get up to the New Zealand title." So his business name went on my car, and yeah, that was real awesome of him to do. Unique Speedway Engineering, Shane Bracken, he looks after me. The Kai Pub, the Crescent Tavern, they are awesome. And Kirk Fabrication, he's taught me a lot over the years and always helps me with anything I need. So I've got some good sponsors behind me, definitely.
100%.
You
100%.
definitely have.
Yeah,
Awesome. Definitely have. And you said Shane Mark, I'm going, oh my God, let's go way back to the good old Super Saloon days. When you bought the good old Skinny Colson way back days, 1990. Oh, yeah. Here I go. I'm too bloody old. One inch, yeah. Shit. Good on them. Good to have great sponsors behind you, mate. And like they say, they're there to support you. And drivers can't do without sponsors because financially it's getting bloody tough. And, big thank you to everyone that's actually associated with any driving during any form of motorsport, whether it's Speedway, 4 wheels, 2 wheels, 3 wheels, 1 wheel, whatever the hell it is, big wheels, little wheels. They're all recognized, and that's what makes our sport for fans to enjoy because sponsors. So big thanks to all the sponsors. Any other last words here, mate, before we wrap it up? And anything else you want to say?
Not really. I don't know. I'm not real great at this talking business, but everything's good. We'll get into it next season again and try and represent the number well. And try to get to a few more tracks. Try to get to Christchurch, Blenheim, Nelson. Not sure if we'll do any North Island trips next season, but get up there and have a practice run at Nelson and then see how the season goes from there. Get the wagon tied.
Yeah, well, whoever told you can't speak and you can't do this stuff, they're wrong because you're being great to talk to, honestly. The way you've spoken and delivered yourself is the current one is it in the Streetstock. Mate, you've done well. I know you're a bit nervous coming to join us, but you've done extremely well. So well done.
Sweet as. Thank you very much. All good.
Thanks, mate. Enjoy your off season and your family time, and we'll catch up your next season.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll see you then.
Sweet as.
Thanks,
Thank
bud.
you.
Cheers.
He was
Here
good
we go.
to talk to. He was.
He's done Welkins and mate, good lot of sponsors and people and support behind them, mate. That makes I think that makes a big difference when you get yourself on the track. When you got that support, it shows on the track, and he's rewarded his sponsors by going out there and getting one NZ.
Yeah, definitely. And it took one guy to say, get up there, you won. You got on the podium in the South Islands, and why wouldn't you? And obviously he's come from a good racing background, and Mike Verdoner is his dad, obviously, and thanks for the update there. And X3NZ Saloon, Super Saloon at Huntley, it was an epic night as well. And it's pretty cool when you get some of this history coming on through, and hence the reason why. Hey, Paul Owen, how are you, mate? Carlo puts it a nui. I had a bit of fun on Friday in the go-karts. Who else you got here? Philip McNamara. The Mainland Raiders or the Mighty Mainlanders. Great to see you guys having your own little comp. Robbie, to you and your family and Paul and everyone associated with the go-karting on Friday night. Well done to you all and everyone else, the lanes and everyone else that put it on. I know there's a couple of names I most probably missed. Bex, hey Bex, Hey, been a while, Bix. How you going? Gonna get a black flag. This Jareb from Jason Gutteridge. Shane Wilson. We might as well carry on and bring.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're
bringing.
bringing Mr. Well, call them Mr. One NZ here. Oh,
Oh,
Stephen got his main
got his mate.
pit crew there. Look at that.
Is that a sim racing seat sitting next to you, mate?
Oh, that's our simulator, yeah. Yep.
So I'm guessing you race a bit sprint cars, I'm guessing. Oh no, midgets.
No, we do. I just go in there and do a bit of test driving. I'm pretty crap at it, so it's just a bit of fun, really. That thing.
Yeah,
For the shits and giggles, eh?
yeah. What are you racing on there? What are you racing?
Oh, to be honest, I prefer the TRCL stuff, the circuit racing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I can't do the dirt stuff. No good.
Yeah. What you can do it in real life. I don't know how that works, to be honest with you.
It can't be that accurate. Surely not.
Yeah. Oh, it depends on where you go to, but yeah, good on you. So, Jeremy, welcome to our show. First time on our show, and I hope you're enjoying yourself, mate. And reality is, when you go to your Facebook page or Instagram page, the result speaks for itself. The multiple titles that you won, mate. You're just a class act, honestly.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, we've had a pretty good career, really, but probably more so over the last 7 years have been outstanding for us, really.
You're the man to beat, eh? You know, everywhere I go when it comes to the 3/4 midgets or anything, especially in their class, you know, when they hear the name Webb is there, it's like, oh, okay. You're out there and you're a hard charger. I know you love Nelson from memory, but Miani's a bit of your bogey track. But mate, what is it about it? How did it start, and where did your journey come from?
So my dad obviously raced for as long as I can remember. So it was just, you know, I guess like most people that race these days, they went to the track when they were a year old. And just kept going, and just eventually got older. And as you're getting older, the old man's getting older, and eventually sort of the old man sort of tried to stay in it for a bit longer. And when I was racing, and then I think I started cleaning him up, so that was time for him to get out.
so what was his first reaction when you beat him for the first time? Did you go and say a bit of banter with Dad? Did you?
Yeah, well, so I won't really forget this, but I think the moment that he realised was actually my second season, and it was the South Island TQ title at Ruapuna, and it was over points, and I was leading the points into the last heat, and the old man was back half of the top 10 somewhere, I think, and he actually, I mean, I had to beat somebody to win the championship. And I think when he realized that it was time for him to stop racing was when he found himself coming off the corner, looking 90 degrees across the track to see where the hell I was going, whether I was beating that guy or not, and wasn't really even concentrating on what he was doing. So I think that's what he said after the meeting anyway. So I think that's when he probably realized that he was more in it for my results rather than, you know, he enjoyed my results more than himself just being out there, I think.
But you achieved something that a lot of racers in Speedway don't get to achieve, and that's to race with your father. I mean, that must have been pretty special times for you to be able to say and do. I raced with my dad on the track, you know?
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. We didn't really do it for very long together. Probably really only half a season, maybe. Not much at all, and just in the TQ class. So it's a bit of a shame we couldn't race for longer, but in saying that, I'm probably just about glad we didn't, so I was able to have his full-time attention as well.
Yeah. Wow, pretty impressive.
How invaluable has your dad's input been in your racing career? Like once he gave up and just gave you full-time thing, how invaluable has that been for you?
Oh, without him, I don't even know if I'd be racing, to be honest, let alone achieving what we have done. He's just got so much knowledge with the whole mechanical side of the cars, and he basically does all that kind of stuff for our team, and he builds the motors in our TQ. So he does all that himself. And to see, every year we've won the title, and SNZ have come down and stripped it into 10,000 pieces. It's quite amazing to see all that lying on the bench and think, man, that he can just put it all back together. And it's yeah. I mean, he probably knows 10 times more than I know. Well, 100 times more probably.
Mhm.
It's interesting.
Kind of
It's interesting. You said they strip your motor down. Did someone? That's normally someone protest your motor. Did they? They think you're too quick.
Oh no. They say we're too quick, but no one's ever had the balls to put the money up and actually do it. But every year they come down and they've come down and stripped the motor down just to check it. I think that happens in every class, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's different. It's not often that we hear that, eh?
No, we don't. No, that's what made me interested. I know that you can challenge. People can challenge, but they've got to pay.
Yeah.
So
they're going to pay a couple grand or something. Yeah. But,
yeah.
No, after every title, with our class and the midget class anyway, they tag the motors so you can't get into them, or they'll know if you get into them, and then at the end of the season they sort of come down and cut the tags off and open them up just to make sure that everything's all how it should be.
Oh,
which is great.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's good to keep the sport honest, but I just hadn't heard of it before. I know they check stuff after a meeting in the sheds, but I didn't realise that as well. So that's interesting to know, actually, isn't it, Kins?
Yeah, it definitely is. Look, you learn something new on our show, and I didn't know it goes to that extent. And I'm not surprised when I take a look at 6-time New Zealand champs, obviously champion in the TQs. So are those consecutive back-to-backs? I'm guessing, obviously, you've gone a 1 and a 1, maybe. I would guess.
So we actually did.
Oh, yeah.
We actually did 4 years in a row.
Eh? Really?
Yeah, we got 4 years in a row. And we went to Napier, of all tracks, to get 5 in a row and actually top qualified. Led most of the race. Car was slow as hell. The motor was no good. And admittedly, we struggled towards the end of the race. The motor got quite hot, and it was just slow. And I just got smoked on a restart, and then went back to third or something, and just had no speed down the straight, and just got cleaned out by someone else. And that was the end of that. But I don't know, if there was no yellow, we might have got the 5th in a row, which would have been nice, because it would have been 7 in a row now. But that sort of ended the streak for a while.
So
I was at that meeting, and that was it. That was an interesting final. That one, wasn't it? A lot of you guys at the front got cleaned up. It was Yeah,
it was a hard title, that one. Like it rained big time leading up to that one, and then the track was like a motocross track night one, and then the second night, the track crew guys did an awesome job, and we had like quite a slick track, but it was multi-lane. It was actually it would have been an awesome feature, but there was so much moisture underneath the surface that they put a Superstock race out before. The first Superstock race was before our feature, and obviously the weight of those cars with their narrow tires, they pierced through the surface and just tore the track back up. So everyone had tightened their cars right up, and then everyone is going freer than where we all start for that feature. And it was a bit of a gamble and set up for everyone, I think. So that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I do remember it, but there is one, looks like quite an important question, Kins, in the comments from a Hannah Webb.
Oh, here we go.
Can you ask J Dub if I finally get to go on honeymoon this off season?
Not likely.
What?
So, to be honest, something keeps coming up. Every year something's come up. This year we've just bought a new house, which is quite a bit of an upgrade to what we've got. So
yeah,
I'm sorry, girl, but it's not this year.
So what have you got planned for the off season?
Our house has just gone on the market today, so we've got to get this thing sold, and then we're moving into a new place which has got a big workshop at. So we sort of run out of room where we are living, with a couple children here and whatnot. So we're really looking forward to that. But it's been a lot of work the last couple of weeks trying to get our place sort of ready to be sold and whatnot. So the cars are sort of being put on hold at the moment. In saying that, the old man sent me a text message yesterday with a photo of the midget motor out of the car. So while we're trying to sort our personal life out, the old man's still slaving in his shed, working on the cars and all that. But hopefully we can get this all sort of done and moved in, and we can carry on with wherever we're at that stage.
Mate, you can't get away from it when Dad's doing what he's doing.
No.
You just can't get away with it. And all you got is Hannah's asking for a simple thing is like a honeymoon.
Yeah.
She's had a few, haven't you, those trips for NZ titles? Those are honeymoons, aren't they?
No, I'll take it to the Chili Bowl next year, maybe.
You've been to Chili Bowl?
Yep, went to Chili Bowl 3 or 4 years ago. Yep.
Yeah. What's so good about Chili Bowl that a lot of midget car racers want to watch, and Speedway people in general back here in New Zealand? I know, what's his name? We're just talking about him before. He always goes over. Michael Pickens, you know, he's always over there, and it's got the big names. And what is it about Chili Bowl that attracts fans around the world?
I guess you could say it's kind of like the World Cup or the World Championship of motorsports. I guess. You know, you've got NASCAR drivers, IndyCar drivers, God knows everyone really.
Got some of the biggest names in the sports, I suppose. Yeah.
Did you race it or watch it?
Yep. So I raced it. I was lucky enough to go and run with Corsa Marshall Racing. So we were fortunate enough to be actually teamed up with a couple of NASCAR drivers, as well as a current World of Outlaw driver as well. So that was pretty cool.
How was that experience for you? Must have been out the gate. Cool.
It was absolutely unreal, really. It was actually quite depressing to come home from that. It's been a few years, but I guess we're still trying to get over it a little bit, because it was that good. It's a bit of a shame, because I don't know if anything will be as good as that in my life again. So,
the honeymoon, mate. Got to say the honeymoon will be. You got to be nice and say the honeymoon.
Yeah, that's right. I think unfortunately the honeymoon might be a bit more expensive, because we'll have to hire a ride that year or something. We can't just go and watch.
Right, that's pretty surreal, actually, to think where you got to and how you got to the Chili Bowl and what you got to do, you know, to think. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Who is, how do I say this? Is it KOE? How do I say that? For Jeremy Webb.
Yeah. The Coes are a group of supporters.
Coe, okay.
I've been in Auckland, in Christchurch, Australia. A group of people that just seem to follow me all around the country and support me. Well, I mean, they're a part of the team, really. It's pretty cool to have an awesome group of people like that just are everywhere. It's pretty cool. I've shared some of our best moments, worst moments as well with all of those people, and I guess no matter what happens, they're sort of always in our corner. So they're a real good bunch of people.
Awesome.
Okay, that's awesome. That's
cool,
real cool.
Eh?
Hey, I know someone else that follows a bit of you as well, Tracy Vincent. She sent me a message. Can you ask Jeremy where would he buy a burger? I won't tell you the answer, but we want
probably the Papatoe Hilton, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
They do
the best burgers for sure.
Oh, Tracy's obviously part of Team Coe. She's got Team Coe for life now.
Yeah.
So we always knew she was a big fan of midgets and open wheel stuff. Tracy, didn't we, though?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think she's a big fan of everything.
Yeah. Hey, Stasi. Yeah, there you go. Mark Williams having a bit of a laugh. Carl Carpendale, how you going, mate? Jeremy, do you think Nelson Speedway new name, Jeremy Webb Speedway? You like that track, eh?
Yeah, it's probably been my most successful track, I would say. Nelson, definitely. Probably a little bit ahead of Ruapuna.
Shit. What's your bogey track then, mate? Is there anything? Is there?
I mean, Napier, we were 2 laps away from winning our 5th consecutive New Zealand title before that all went wrong. At the North Island title this year, I had no brakes at Napier. Another year, I was leading the North Island title. My steering wheel came off at Napier. You name it, it's gone wrong at Napier.
I don't want to hear that.
It's his home track.
There's my home track.
Yeah, we keep going back there to
I
try
do-
and
listen,
get past it, but
The big thing for me is I've noticed an influx of the last few years of midgets at Yanni, and some of the racing has been just out the gate exciting. I mean, it was just, I guess, commentated there this year when Mike had to go and do the sidecars, I think, in the South Island, and it was a decent midget meeting then, and it was the weekend after teams champs, and the racing there has been pretty spectacular. Sometimes you get a bad track, but sometimes when it's a really good track, the racing there is pretty good.
yep. Yeah, no, I've been there when the track's been good and wide, and it's when the track's right, it's definitely one of the best tracks in the country, for sure. I've actually, like I said, I've been there for some really, really awesome tracks, and the racing has been exceptional.
Yeah, I've been in a similar boat to you, Books, with the commentary at Huntley, and they've just had some of the round series go and race there as well. And Aaron Humble and a few of the others normally around there ripping up, doing their thing in the TQ midgets 3/4. And they are good to watch. They're fast. And it's just, you give a little inch or gap or one makes a mistake.
I was yelling and screaming down the commentary box. People, I got told that somebody said to me that's a real stock car person that's all they really like. He said, "Geez, you made it." He said, "I reckons I made TQs exciting to watch by yelling and screaming and getting excited." So, but anyway, you said you had a couple of kiddies there too. Are they keen on the Speedway, mate? Are they going to be next generation coming through? Do you think, or are they still a bit young?
Well, one of them's 3. I don't know. She changes her mind every second day, but she loves it. She no doubt she's going to be a racer of some description.
Yeah.
She might head down the stock car ranks. She tells us. So we'll see what happens there. And the other one's 14, and he raced in quarter midgets for a couple of years, and he's just sort of not racing at the moment. He's got a couple of other things going on, but I don't know. He may get it back into it down the line, hopefully. Just depending on a couple of things there. So we'll see how he goes.
Yeah, no, cool. And you said you also in the midget car 3-time South Island champ from memory.
Yep.
Obviously it's a bit more faster. Wouldn't be much more faster to a 3/4, would it?
I mean, the lap times aren't much faster. Sometimes they are. When the track's slick, they're quite often slower.
Yeah.
But they feel a hell of a lot faster. That's for sure.
Yeah, I did wonder that. And look, 3-time South Island. So are you going to decide to stick with just the one, or are you going to persevere with the TQ, or is there one day in the future you'll just concentrate on the midget class?
I think at the end of the day, as a driver, I'm ultra competitive, and I kind of want to do the best that I can and the most that I can. And to do that, living in the South Island, to do that in the midget class is super, super hard, because we generally only get 8 to 12 cars down here. So to do it properly, we typically need to be in Auckland, and the cost for me to do something like that is
horrendous.
You're probably looking at $60,000 to $70,000 a season to do that. Whereas you can race a TQ around I can race a TQ competitively in Christchurch, and go travel to those national events, and it may only cost somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000.
Yeah.
So I'd love to do the midget 100% committed, and do the international series and do everything like that, but it's just the money side of things that's stop us from doing that. So at the end of the day, I've won so much stuff in the TQ that I've got, both of the 2 TQs that we have, we just about don't really want to get rid of them. And if we were to sell them, we'll just blow that money on midget racing anyway and have nothing at the end of the day. So it makes sense for us just to hang on to it. And when the midgets aren't racing down here, because they don't race as much as TQs, we can always just drag that out of the shed and race it, and it doesn't actually cost a hell of a lot of money.
So where's the NZ champs for 25, 26?
No one knows yet.
No one yet, eh? Western Springs. So then that leads me over to what Kyle Carpendale said here. Will you be at the NZ Championships 27, 28 at Gisborne? Or
are they at Gisborne that year? Are they?
What's the thoughts on Gisborne? Yeah, Gisborne, yeah, by the looks of it. But then, and saying that, because it's obviously Western Springs, do they bring it for? We don't know. We're just speculating here. I don't know what's going to happen. But what are your thoughts on Gisborne track with the bank and everything?
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, Gisborne and Wellington are probably the only Speedway New Zealand tracks that I haven't been to.
Oh,
But I haven't raced. It's not that I haven't raced there. I haven't even seen them.
Oh, Books can tell you all about Gisborne. He likes
So
going to
Gisborne,
Gisborne.
if it's at Gisborne, we'll be there.
That's fast. Well, that was leading my question. I was sort of thinking about before, actually. Is that does that sort of play on you a bit, not knowing what track it's going to be at? I mean, because we normally know by now where it is that next season, your next NZ Championship, and I would imagine you start to prepare mentally for that in the off season. So, does that affect you at all, or?
Probably not this year. I think in previous years we've made big efforts to go up there and run it. So the last time I was at the Springs, we won that one, and we actually ran 4 times before the title, I think. So yeah, in previous years that's what we've done. But this year, I think possibly not. Those kind of years were when we weren't really racing the midget super competitively yet. We sort of just our first couple of years in that class, so it was a bit easier to do. But now we probably wouldn't do that anyway, potentially. So I'm actually not really too worried if it's at Western Springs or Waikaraka Park or any. I don't know. It doesn't worry me at the moment at all. Wherever it is, we're going to go there. So
yeah. That's a true answer from a competitor that is very competitive.
Yeah.
Don't care where it is, mate. You're going to go out there and rip shit up and give it your all on the track. And hey, whether you get another 1 NZ on the car, just got to wait and see. You know, if everyone else wants to race me, you got to race me to beat me. I like this attitude. He's confident there.
Yeah.
The
I mean, if you're not
results show it.
confident,
You got to be. Yeah, and your results back up what you're saying. So obviously with the midget, the TK, would you ever contemplate if you were able to and someone gave you the opportunity to race with them, would you jump in the sprint car?
No.
Oh,
No.
why?
I prefer midget racing, 100%.
Wow.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. Yep.
Not the midgets. Well, good on you. I love that answer. Straight up. Alicia, how you going? Shout out from Aussie. Been following you for a long time. Shane Mitchell, how are you, mate? Mark Williams, shout out from Papatoe Hilton. Yeah, there you go. It's the
he's the general manager there, Marcus.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Your thoughts on stock racing, mate? You got any thoughts on stock racing from David?
It's not for me.
Not
really.
You? Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's definitely a different sort of a racing. I can tell you a bit of a story about that actually. When I was younger, we were at Woodford Glen.
Yeah.
I was pretty young, so I don't really remember. I'm presuming it was like a battle of the stocks or something like that. And there was a red car, and he was first and second in the first 2 races, and he was starting on grid 3 for the final race. And me and the old man had a bit of a bet on who was going to win. So I picked the red car, and with those first 2 races that he had, there was no way he was going to be beaten, you know. But little did I know that they weren't going to let him get through turn 1. He never finished, or he never completed the first lap. And I kind of thought, in my eyes, I don't know how I could cope with being the best driver and having the fastest car on track and not winning because somebody else didn't want you to win. That would, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, they would just, shoot off, to be honest, put it bluntly. Yeah. So is there anything else in the off season that you do? Is there any other sports or anything else that you get into?
No, not anymore. I used to play a bit of football and stuff like that, but I've just probably got a bit old and struggled with my knees and stuff like that. So I just work really. I mean, these race cars don't get built for free. So I've got to bust my ass over the weekends and
yeah.
work late nights and early mornings and everything like that to try and build our balance up a little bit so we can get through the season.
Yeah, I know you got a Facebook page, obviously Jeremy Webb Motorsport. It also connects to your Instagram page, so you're pretty well on the good old social media. You got to have merch, mate. You got all your merch available?
Yep. Yes, so we did merch this year for the first time in 7 years, and that is available on the Xcient website, xcient.co.nz. And Jaden Basley from 7-3, he did a wicked design on that shirt for this after we won the title. So that was sort of specifically done for a 6-time champion. So that was, those guys have been real awesome with that.
Yeah. So tell me that website again. I put Xcient in and it brought up something I don't want to look at.
It's young. Yeah, I think that's young Shepherd, isn't it?
Oh,
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. So Jacob, he's
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. No,
Yep.
I was only joking, mate. But obviously, sponsors, you can't do without your sponsors, mate.
Yeah, I got a heap of sponsors that have helped out this year, and K&T Drainage has been my main sponsor. They've been with me forever. Clear Track Solutions, which is our little side business with the Teros, which is really cool. Geco Fuels, Mobile Hose Services over in Greymouth, Concrete for You, Kevin Stephen Motors, Royce Clive Engineering, Gemmett's Power Tools, Canterbury Demolition, KH Fabrication, 7-3, Race Fit, Keen Composites, Renovate for You, Fin Sheet Metals, Harcourts, Mike Rollo, and Inky Coachworks, and Fabitoe Hilton.
The bigger place. That's the one.
Bigger, yeah.
Hey, mate, it's been brilliant talking to you. What you've achieved, you are a true competitor, obviously, and that's just the way your brain clicks and how you want to be. And the web name is synonymous with the Speedway. And, mate, well done on what you've achieved. You know, when you set a goal up here, mate, you go for that goal. I can just tell from talking to you, and good on you for having those positive standards and achieving those goals. So well done to you. Obviously, Dad that plays around with the engine, your family, and to everyone that crews and all your sponsors, man. Wow, what a stellar career.
Yeah, no, it's been good. And yeah, like I said, I can't do it without my sponsors. And also the guys that help us. We've got a big crew, and obviously my dad's the main guy there, really, and with all that kind of stuff. And had a younger dude come on this year. He's about 3 times younger than anyone else on the crew, so he sort of stepped up as a bit of a crew chief role. And old Stretch, no one really knows his actual name. We all call him Stretch. He's he's been bloody awesome this year, and it's definitely made a hell of a difference with where we go with the car and things like that. And I think that's definitely played a bit of a part this season. Another younger dude, Daniel Jenkins, he's been there as well, especially for the big meetings, and barely lost a race when he's been there. So that's been awesome. And then I've got everybody else that's been with me forever, and Gordon, Rodders and Brown Dog, my wife Hannah, little Emerson, who's only been around for 3 years, so she's one of the newer ones, and Nathan Ashton, Romeo, Brown Dog, if I didn't say him already, and yeah, a big crew. So I can't do it without all those guys.
Yeah, 100%. Mate, this won't be the last time that we speak to you on the show, so welcome to our show, Kokpit. Trackside Kokpit, brought to you by GARAGE16, and no doubt we'll catch up again, obviously, as we get closer to the Speedway season. Enjoy what you're going to be doing in the off season, and thank you once again for coming to share your bit of story with us on our show, and we've enjoyed it. So well done, congrats, and we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks my good mates over in Aussie listening, and Ricardo and Storm as well. It's good to see them tuning in.
Awesome, mate. Thanks, Jeremy. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah.
You could, with the support he has behind him, you can see why he's multiple NZ champion and North Island champion and South Island champion. You know, the races with that support and that positivity, and that they just win, mate. It's like Brad Lane, you know, that attitude. You know, no one's beating me. That's it. I'm going out there to win. You know,
hard out.
I see. I think Brad and Jeremy, their focus is very similar. How they approach their racing. That's it. We're out to win, man. And
yeah.
And I've watched him race a few times now, Jeremy, and it blows my mind. Just they're on it, those guys, man. Just, and that's that class act, that step up. You see, there's those drivers in each class that you see that, like, what do we got? We got Jeremy there, midgets. You got, what would you say, Brad and modifieds. You've got Asher in the super stocks.
Yeah.
And sprint cars, you got, you know, the name,
Jonathan Ellard or the young fella Myers.
You know, they're right. It's just, there's all these standouts in each field, you know. Super Saloons, Osborne's been quite strong in that now. He's won NZ again this year. Stock cars, Saloons, I mean, it's Cowlings, is it? I think.
Yeah, Cowlings, yeah.
And it's just, mate, there's these drivers in each class that are that next level, aren't they, you know? And they're the ones to beat. Yeah, yeah. Just if you follow every class, you can't help but get excited.
Oh,
when it comes to our sport, mate.
Yeah, and you got to have that confidence. You know, doesn't matter how you say you are, and they're just so confident. And Jeremy's in their class, and you got to ride on your confidence. You got to have the backing of your crew, the reliability of the machine you're driving. If you get that all together and make it all work in one thing, you should be guaranteed a podium. It's only going to be a mishap, like he alluded to in Miani. Just one of those things, but you can't
that New Zealand championship that he raced at Miani. I mean, I think I spoke to you afterwards. I think about how many of the front runners got taken out, and that brought. I think that's the year that Aaron Humble took it out. I think, didn't he? Did he get it? And Sonia and Stan Hickey's grandson got third or second or something. It was just all those top runners just got. It was a hell of a bloody final. It was just, and it was a shame though, because, like, you know, when I watched that racing this year around Miani with the midgets, they're just on it, man, and it's just really good racing, you know. And it's not what I've watched. It's not been one car just taking off and leaving them behind like it has been in the years. It's been some good in and out battles, and it just makes it, mate. It just gets the heart pumping when you're watching. You stand in the crowd, you know, it's awesome. I'm really enjoying my midgets, watching them lately, the TQ. So this season I've really enjoyed them.
Yeah, no, I'm the same as you, you know, even though I'm sitting behind the mic at Huntley, but you're right. You just give it that extra energy, because when they put on a show, every time they come out, you just don't know, you know. Some of the guys that are real fast could start down the mid-pack, and it's quite a joy to watch them come through and trying to make their way, and they're pushing extra hard to get up to the front there, because the guys that are in front of them are no slouchers as well. And there's just a good bunch of them. And yeah, like you say, you know, what do we got here? Tracy Vincent, truly one of the greatest guys in Speedway, in reference to Jeremy. The winningest TQ driver of all time, the GOAT. Feels even better when you're in the seat. Yeah, Carl, you're right there, mate. Waco, Kerry Jones and sprint cars. Oh, hoot nanny, mate. Hoot nanny.
You got the hoot nanny, all right. Shit.
They do. They really do. You know, they're exciting to watch, and they're a joy to watch. Look, that's about us done and dusted for this Wednesday. And just another friendly reminder, there's only a few meetings getting underway this week, and I'll just quickly share the post again. Thanks to SNZ. There you go. Palmy, Kiki, Wellies, and down in Riverside. Don't forget to see Jace. He'll be doing the flag down there. Jason, Mr. Pitts TV down there. But otherwise, thank you once again for coming to join us on another Wednesday. We'll maybe give you the heads up through the weekend or something like that. A build up to the KB Cowboys and the KB Cowgirls. We'll have a bit of fun.
That's us, team. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you to our guests taking the time to talk with us tonight. We appreciate them. And we will wish you all a safe week and weekend, and enjoy yourselves. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Wayne. We need to get that 3/4 Kins and the 3/4 midget. One day, I'll do it. I see someone put a super saloon bloody thing. Yeah, I mean, us are going to have a jam in the super saloon. We'll get around to it. Anyway, take care, like Book said. See ya. Bye-bye.
See you. Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot nanny.